All right, friends, it's T-Man. We back again with JasonBlaha, the beautiful lifting gym slave, influencer, YouTube influencer who has no life. Okay, that keeps saturating the internet with all his videos. We're gonna review this video. JasonBlaha says, should advanced lifters do full body programs? Advanced lifters. These advanced lifters, like you mean steroid lifters or advanced lifters that are natural?
Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here. I thought I would sit down and do another video for you guys and gals. I'll get a sip of my water first.
Yes, I bet he did.
Get my radio voice going and let's talk about this. Get that forearm shot. Forearms are on point. Okay, I had someone ask me in the comments this morning, you still do an upper-lower split, but your volumes are fairly low. Why don't you just do full body 3 days a week and just do your 4 lifts and a couple of accessories? And here's the issue with that. And I know I promote.
Here's the issue with that. Let's see, what is the issue?
Promoted a ton of full body training early on my channel. A lot of people got.
Do you even know why people do full body training? Do you even know why they do that?
Great results on novice programs doing it, but the problem we run into
got great results on novice programs doing it? Yeah, but you could do a full body program, but you could still be adapted and get nothing. I think he's full of shit. He's just making this stuff up.
The problem we run into.
What's the problem?
With advanced lifters, and this is why I don't do it anymore. It's why I don't recommend it. And this is definitely evidence-based.
Okay, why, Blaha? Because you're not getting any results? Because you're a failure?
It's also real-world based.
Because you're scared you may get results and something may manifest out of it? Like, come on, man.
But you're going to compromise results somewhere.
You're going to compromise results somewhere. Christ. Yeah, okay.
Why? Because your systemic fatigue is so high that near the end of the workouts, your performance is way down and your muscle fiber recruitment is way down.
No kidding. That's kind of the objective, the goal, for everything to be down at the end of the session, because that's what a full body workout does. It causes damage to your body. It's an adaptatory response. Now you're going to get an adaptation response by the body. What's it going to do? Well, it's going to try to repair and remodel itself stronger, bigger and stronger. Yeah.
One thing to do curls after you've done back work because you've worked the arms. So obviously they're going to be accumulating more fatigue through the workout because you're training them, right? Pull-ups, chin-ups, rows, all those things are working your biceps. So
yeah, you could overwork your biceps if you keep doing bro splits. Here's the problem. The problem with all these bro splits, you keep working the same body parts again and again. They're so adapted at this point. If anything, you're shrinking them. You're skating uphill, more uphill, to try to get more of these, contractile proteins. And I'm not talking about damage. I'm talking about accumulating more contractile proteins on the myofibular. Man, in the cell. So you're just skating uphill, man. That's the problem with the bro splits. You got to be careful because you're using your arms constantly, bench pressing, then coming in, doing your back, using your arms again. You use your shoulders again. Using your back area. Oh, my back is sore, but I'm doing chest day today. Yeah, but you just did back yesterday. And then, oh, I'm kind of still using my arms. Oh, but then your arms were used as well. This is crazy.
Curls afterwards has always been a viable approach, whether you're doing an upper type split or whether you're doing, a back and bicep type row split. It's kind of time proven for a reason. And systemic fatigue builds up, though, when we start working other muscles first, then particularly with legs. So the problem we start running into, how they fixed it back in the day, the OG bodybuilders, the old school guys like Steve Reeves or whatever who used...
The OG bodybuilders. Do you even know why they were doing full body?
To do the full body back in the day and still look good, how they get away with that. They just deprioritize.
Look, I do full body workouts when I want to get damage because I'm going for option number one. I don't want to seek option B, C, D, A, whatever. Get it? I got I have A, so why do I need plan B, C, A B C D or C D E whatever. I don't need that plan. You understand me? I go for the most sophisticated plan.
Their legs. And those guys had great physiques, but you notice a lot of them didn't always have the best legs and didn't always have the best squats.
I think they had pretty good legs and they had good squats. Yeah, they did because they did. If they split it, they did legs at the. I don't know. Maybe they did it on the full body. Who the hell knows?
Why? Because they knew that the muscles they trained first were probably
I split the legs. I don't do them on the same day.
going to get the most muscle growth, so they just did arms first. And I do mean that. Guys like Reeves would come in and do their curls at the very start of a workout. And then sometimes their arms would be recovered by the time they got to their rows or pull-ups or whatever, because the workouts, were relatively long with the full body. So they'd be okay.
That's stupid. Why would you do your arms first? He's making this up. How the hell does he know they did arms first? I would never do arms first in a full body workout. I always start with chest, then I move to back, and then I do the smaller groups. If I did my arms, I would never be able to pull from my back. I'd never be able to do my chest. What the fuck? You're crazy, man. There's a whole bunch of things. If you do your arms, you can't do anything else. They're gone, bro, because they've been damaged. And if they've been damaged, they're in a weakened state. Everybody knows that. That's what damage is associated with. Reduced force capacities, fucking range of motion is gone out the window, bro. What is he talking about?
But a lot of times these guys would do their lower body last, and then their lower body would suffer, because here's what we know based upon the data.
Yeah, I don't know how they did their full body. You think they did a whole body workout? You know how many hours it would take you to fucking do your upper body and then lower body? That's just ridiculous. And if you did not enough sets for the upper body and for the legs, then there's not going to be any damage. You're just wasting your time. You're adapted.
It's been found in the lab. If you're training multiple muscles through a workout, the exercises that you do last, what happens? Your performance goes down. We all know this even if you do high volume training.
It only goes down if you get damaged. Well, it does go down quite a bit too, even in an adapted state, because kind of overworked.
We all know that even if you have an arm day, what happens near the end of your arm day? Of course, you're weaker near the end. But even if you train other stuff, it gets weaker. So
how would he know? He never does any of these things. How the hell would he know that? He's just regurgitating something he read or saw or heard somewhere. He's making up a lot of the facts too, because a person that has experienced that would know exactly what to look for, and they'd know what it is. But he doesn't know, because I'm listening to him. I know what it is because I do that. But I could tell that he doesn't know anything. He's making it up.
Well, here's your problem. If you train full body, you're going to have to prioritize and decide, hey, I have muscle groups and body parts that I care about way more. Well, that's not good for balance. If you're saying, hey, I want to get...
The reason why the old school bodybuilders, most likely, okay, they were doing full body like I do, is because they were resensitizing the muscle, because it's adapted and it would not damage anymore. So there's a type of resensitization, get it? Something like that, you could call it. And you want to get away from the RBE effect, okay? Which prevents muscles from being damaged with a repeated bout. That's what.
Acting strong top to bottom, this becomes a problem. This becomes a big problem, because it's not fatiguing the muscle. Again, a bench press fatigues the triceps because they're being used, and we can accept that. You're not losing tricep progress because you bench and then do triceps. But you are going to lose tricep progress if you squat and deadlift and then do triceps, because the systemic fatigue of all of it carries over.
What? If you squat and deadlift and do triceps, your hormones are going to... Look, I could do some legs even if I do my upper body. That will increase growth hormone. If I was to squat, that would help a lot more, because hormones would go through the roof because with the squat.
Same thing. So you say, okay, well, I'll just do all that first. Well,
discover
your upper body first on the same day, then you're going to squat and deadlift. Your performance is going to suffer.
You could squat. I don't know about deadlifting, though. It'd be very difficult at this point.
And if your performance goes down because your whole peripheral nervous system.
Here's the problem with full body workouts. You don't want to do any deadlifting because that works the entire body. That would overwork your body. You wouldn't be able to do it anyways. You could though you could do squats though, but that would be astronomically difficult too as well. The weight being on your back after you just did your whole upper body, but you could still manage it better than a deadlift.
System and your whole system and your body is fatigued, what happens? You will recruit less muscle fibers because systemic fatigue is different from localized, but it will still impede performance.
I don't even think he knows what steroids actually do and what happens to your body when you inject it. Why does your testicles stop producing testosterone when you inject testosterone, some artificial plant testosterone in your body? Why does it stop producing certain hormones? Why does it shut off, and why do your testicles shrink to nothing? Why don't they produce when you inject it? Why? Again, does he know any of these reasons why it does that? Why do steroids stop working after you inject the first load? Why do you have to keep striving for stronger and stronger and higher loads of steroids to inject? Why is that? Because it's an adaptation process. But if you don't understand that like him, then I suggest you go and read up on it.
This is why people started doing splits to begin with.
No, they did it because of the RBE. It's an adaptation process. That's why they did it. You think they were stupid in those days like the people are today? They're fucking dumb that they don't understand it's based on an adaptation process. How do you think I know about it? I'm an old school, pretty much somewhat of an old school bodybuilder. One of the leftovers, probably, you could say. Okay? So me growing up as a kid throughout the 70s, man, I wasn't sure. I watched people, I saw the magazines, and then later in the 80s, saw more magazines and kind of went, and did some stuff. I was a late person when it came to the gym stuff, man. But I knew what these people were doing in the gym, and I know why they were doing what they were doing. And so, yeah, eventually I figured it out on my own too, just like they did.
This is why. Because otherwise, if you do full body, something is going to get lacking. And the only way to get...
No, nothing's lacking in a full body. Nothing is gonna be lacking in a full body because everything is gonna get damaged. Get it, bro?
Around that and say, well, whatever my best muscle or one I care about least, we'll just do all of that near the end. Now, people say, but isn't that happening if you're doing upper or lower? Not really, because my upper and lower both grow. Why? Because they're all being worked. So in other words, okay, so what if I do bench and chin-ups first as a superset, right? And I like those antagonistic supersets.
Here comes the stupid lifting, the supersets. Well, let's do supersets. That's dumb too. That's dumb lifting as well.
So what happens?
Useless lifting. That's why people are all adapted. That's why they're all taking steroids, because they can't build their body with their stupid programs.
Okay, sure, I'm getting more fatigued, but the muscles that are going to be trained at the end all got worked. Did my delts get worked on the bench and the chin-ups or rows or whatever? Yes. Did my biceps and triceps get actually worked on them? Yeah, they got some actual stimulus. So,
okay, and what about it? If you're adapted, what?
So it's not as big of a deal if the systemic fatigue is creating a problem, because the muscles did get work and got fatigued already. Now we're going to come in and just finish them off. And it actually works. We can get away with it. So what happens if I squat first? Keeping in mind, I'm not...
What happens if you squat first? What happens? There'd be an increase in hormone, okay? If you squat, okay?
Novice anymore. People say, well, this apply to novices. No, not so much, not as much.
When they did that thing, that science thing, that video, it was on YouTube. They were talking about lightweight, heavyweight, whatever. They had mentioned people that had squatted and did a muscle group on their body. That muscle group grew. It grew. It actually grew from after doing squats. I've known people to do body parts and then go do squats. And then they come in the next day, they do a body part and then do squats. That, I'm talking about a long time ago. I'm talking about like over 35 years ago. I remember these guys coming in, they would do these so-called, like you say, bro splits. Okay? But again, their upper body's somewhat adapted. It's not getting damaged. I don't know. Okay? So they would come in and they would do a body part and then they would do some squats. They would do a body part and then they would go do some squats. And they said, and yeah, you would notice there was some growth there would help because the increase of the hormone, and them eating and whatever they were doing caused them, I don't know, caused them some growth in, I guess, what you would call contractile proteins. I doubt it was any muscle, there was any remodeling there, but definitely maybe some contractile protein. Science has done tests on this. It works. Yes, yes. Me myself have thought about it a couple times. I would do some body workouts and then I would go do some squats. If I had the chance, I would do a few squats. Nothing major. There wouldn't be any damage there. Just something really heavy. I just loaded up really heavy, and I would do some quarter squats. It didn't have to be all the way or whatever. Just some heavy squats, a couple of sets, maybe 3, 4, maybe even 5 of 10, and then leave. That would help increase the hormonal response. That's about it. That's what people back then were using for. I'm not talking about full leg day.
Because they're going to grow from anything. They're going to grow from anything. But notice I don't keep people on those sort of programs a super long time.
They're going to grow from anything? Yeah.
Yeah, we always tend to squat first on novice full body programs. Why? Because it's a big exercise that will build the most muscle. It makes sense to do it first.
It doesn't build muscle. There's a response, and it doesn't build muscle. It's either damaging muscle or there's a response in growth hormone, and then there's an open window for protein synthesis, but there's also a window for protein breakdown. So what are you trying to do? What is your goal? You want to build what do you want to do? Build contractile proteins? Do you want to get muscle damage or remodeling? Like, what exactly do you want to do? Like, what are you trying? What is your goal there? And why are you eating fucking carbohydrates? They don't build muscles. So I don't know what people are doing out there. You need to figure it out yourself. This coach is stupid.
Because we can always finish up with the other stuff, and the novice isn't going to create the same fatigue. How much fatigue do I create squatting and deadlifting?
What is the fatigue going to do for you?
A lot. A lot. I'm over doing rep work with 500 plus pounds on the deadlift. How much fatigue does that?
Jesus, him in this 500 pound plus deadlift. Yeah, I do 500 pounds myself too, 500 pound deadlifts, but so what?
Create later in the workout. Okay, so people, well, you could do it later, so then I'm going to deadlift light and get less stimulus. Oh, then I'm going to have a big bicep pump and possibly micro tears in my bicep tendons when I go to deadlift.
I love this one. He says bicep pump, and then he says micro tears in the bicep. You're not getting any micro tears in the bicep if you're adapted. What the fuck he talking about? He thinks these micro tears are just going to happen magically. Like, duh. If they were, why aren't you fucking massive and huge if you're getting these micro tears? See, here's the thing. I'm getting micro tears. That's why I'm massive and huge. But why aren't you getting fucking massive and huge? Blaha, if you are so-called getting these micro tears. So why do you need steroids if you're getting micro tears? Then that is associated with growth, isn't it? You get fucking bigger and stronger and a whole bunch of other things. You're getting fuck all, man. You're full of shit.
I don't know that that's a wise idea for me either, given the sort of weights I'm capable of moving. This is a problem.
This is a problem. This is a problem. People like this on the internet that are so stupid don't know anything about training, how to train. This is shit.
And all these solutions, people have, well, you could do this, you could do this. Well, or I could just split it up and do an upper lower, and then all those problems go away. I can come in and really focus on the things that I need to focus on. I can focus on my legs and glutes on my lower body day. My upper body day, I can hammer my upper body and finish up with the weak links last, but they already got worked on the big movements. So again, stuff like arms, doing a few lateral raises for the side delt, I can come in and hammer those, and it works. I get a tremendous pump. They are beat.
Again, a tremendous pump. If you're eating protein, you think you're getting a pump? And here's the thing. And if you are lifting, you think you're going to feel a pump? No, you're going to feel loss of motion, range of motion, the fucking force capacity's down. You're going to feel fucking really strange if you get micro tears. You're going to be in a weakened type of state somewhat. He's full of shit.
up, but I'm still keeping the volume somewhat moderated, right? Because I'm training hard enough that I don't need a whole lot of volume. So for in my case,
Micro tears are associated with pain, restriction, movement, this, that, force capacities. It's associated with ultrastructural muscle injuries, and they don't happen all the time because of RBE. So what the hell is he talking about?
that works, and different people split stuff up for that reasons. And I'm not telling you that you necessarily should go do a true body part split. If you do, if you need to split stuff up that much, I kind of like a 3-day-a-week program at that point. I think that works great. My opinion.
Again, if it's 3 days a week and you split it up, guess what's going to happen? Adapted. Your body adapts. It's the protective effect from building any muscle. It protects you from building muscles. It's very specific. Here's another thing. It has an MND size limit. Why do muscles have a myonuclear domain size limit? To protect itself from what? From building any more muscle. See? Here's the thing. It reaches an MND size limit during hypertrophic process. Here's where you're wasting your time, all of you people. I'm going to show this to you one more time. Educate you people so you understand. All right? Here we go. So under this section, myonuclei acquired by overload exercise precedes hypertrophy are not lost on detraining. Okay, scroll down here. There's a map way down here at the bottom. Okay, there it is. The famous map. So here's what happens. Again, I got to educate you people one more time. So you come into the gym, you're untrained. First training, satellite cell fusion. All right. What is this? This is muscle damage. You got damaged when you came into the gym. Okay. The satellite cell proliferated, differentiated, it split, divided, increased in number, and donated its nuclei to this myonuclear domain. Okay? And then they hypertrophied. What makes them hypertrophy? Well, protein makes it hypertrophy, right? So protein makes it hypertrophy. Your food and all that stuff, whatever. Okay. Some hormones, da. And when it donates its nuclei, the nuclei synthesize protein. That's what they do. But look, notice when they detrain, they detrain, it says detraining, it kind of atrophied. Now, I don't know how long they detrained for. I can't tell you if it's a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever. But when they came back to retrain, look what happened. It just came back the way it was. They didn't get more nuclei. They didn't get an influx of nuclei. They didn't get an influx of more muscle tissue or anything, or a remodeling or repairing or a remodeling or anything here. It just shows the exact same circle here. See that? Why is that? Why is that? See what I mean? So here it reached an MND size limit. This during hypertrophic process. That it says there. See that? Hypertrophy. It reached an MND size limit during hypertrophic process. Beyond. You understand beyond? Look. MND size limit. See that? Scroll down here. MND size has a ceiling limit during hypertrophic process, beyond which extra myonuclei are donated by satellite cell to do what? To support further muscle growth. You understand, man? Muscle cells have an MND size limit. So no matter what you're doing there, they're not growing no more. That's why your instincts aren't lying to all of you when you say, I reached a newbie gain limit, or a genetic limit, or I'm a hard gainer, or whatever the fuck you're talking about there, okay? You're not growing anymore. There's no more growth. It's ended. It's called an adaptation process. It's called the RBE.
opinion, for most people. I'm not talking about people trying to win the Mr. Olympia. But if you're just trying to be the most jacked guy in the gym with the best physique, or you're just trying to compete in powerlifting, it works. And I know guys with elite.
No, the only people that can progress naturally and build a physique are those who know how to get over MND size limit and the RBE, both of them together, RBE and MND size limit, okay? Which go together basically. But if you don't know and understand, it's based on an adaptation system. If you don't understand it, then you could never progress in the gym and you'll just bitch and complain. That's all you'll do.
World level lifts who do 3-day-a-week powerlifting. All right, perfectly reasonable. It's not necessarily how you're going to become Mr. Olympia, but you probably don't have the genetics or the...
Mr. Olympia, you mean you don't have the drugs to do it? Well, go and buy them, and then you'll be Mr. Olympia.
Substance stack to do it anyways. So
I mean, come on, man.
It.
Did you see Wesley Vissers? He just beat out a bunch of Olympians, okay, that were practically first on the stage at the Mr. Olympia. He showed up at, the Arnold recently. Wesley Vissers beat all of them, came in first. Want to know why? Because it's based on drugs. It's based on a look. It's based on a lot of things that you're doing wrong. Wesley finally woke up. I used to write him on his channel. Conditioning, Wesley. Wesley, you need to focus on conditioning. And people would put me down and scream at me, stop telling him this and that. Finally, he listened, and he has the mass and the size. He needed conditioning. And guess what? He came in conditioned, and he beat them. So what is it based on? Is it based on genetics? They all said he had shit genetics, Wesley. Wesley has these weird genetics. He has shit genetics and all that. No, has nothing to do with genetics. It has everything to do with the drugs you're taking and conditioning and looking a certain way. That's all, looking better than the other people.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, the full body becomes a compromise once you have a strength base. And it's just...
He was last, Wesley. Does that mean he has bad genetics? Because he came in last at the Olympia, but now he came in first, beating two Olympians that came in second and third. He actually beat them at the Arnold. Come on, man.
Easy to do an upper lower. It resolves the systemic fatigue problems later in the workout. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's...
Man, I hope it is.
Been informative.
It was uninformative, very uninformative. If you want to inform people, inform them with the truth, with things that you know, but you don't know anything. That's why I guess you can't inform anybody with anything, just bullshit stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends. Don't you think about that? Like, subscribe, comment down below. Helps with the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends.